All operations are suspended until further notice.
Yes, Captain.
I'll let the others know.
Look, it's Sid.
Staying long this time?
Norseman Harpocrates.
Now that is a name I have not heard for a long time. Welcome home, Clive. You were missed, as always.
I believe this belongs to you. Vivian asked me to return it.
Already? Our resident scholar devours books faster than young Tet does lemon tarts. Would that I could do the same. But alas, I no longer possess the necessary... That said, I have continued my search for mention of the creature you encountered at Drake's Head, but without access to the great libraries of Oriflamme or the Dominion, I regret...
Please, don't apologize.
I fear it is not more books that I require, but the right ones. Mayhap we look in the wrong places. There are still libraries to the north.
I'll see what I can do.
You are too kind. There are not many in this world who would indulge the whims of a tired old historian.
Not too tired to go filching Kupo nuts, though. Always got a pocket for him. Nicks him off the Moogle.
Hush now. We all know there's no such thing as Moogles.
The twins seem well.
Aye. Yet they laugh far too little for one so young. The loss of their parents weighs heavy on them, however well they hide it. Titan took much from us that night. From some more than others, and the wounds that remain. They are not quick to heal.
Which is why we must give them all the time they need.
That we must. Just as I must give you the time you need to recuperate.
Good day. Gav will be back soon. I should get some rest while I can.
Not back a blink and you're already off solving everyone's problems. It looks good, Clive. Goes well with the scowl.
I'd had that brand for so long. I'd forgotten what life was like without it. What it was like to be myself. And it's all thanks to you, Talia.
The scalpel did most of the work. Ah, before I forget, a rider was here with a letter from Gav. Otto left it on your desk.
Not a Stolas. All right.
And then you get some rest.
What could Gav have thought worthy of a letter?
Well, have you been to the toll? I hear a new shipment's just arrived. Oh, no. I still don't know the hairpin I bought my wife.
Otto was here earlier with a letter from Gav. He left it on your desk. What does Gav have to say?
The Republican army is on the march, leaving Randalar in Hugo Kupka's charge. With him and his men occupied with the defense of the capital, they're less likely to trouble us.
Good news, then.
It's more than that. This is our chance. The one we've been waiting for.
But look how far we've come. All that we have here, our friends, the hideaway, are they not cause for joy?
5 years. 5 long years. If I could only command this power I've been granted, we might have achieved so much more. But each time I reach for it, it's like something is holding me back.
Summoning an icon exacts a price not easily paid. Your body knows this only too well. It's merely trying to save you from yourself.
And every burden I cannot bear falls to you.
This mission of ours has made me question everything I thought I knew. But one thing has become abundantly clear. The crystals take more than they give. In exchange for momentary comfort, we must endure a lifetime of pain, war after war, loss upon loss. And now they rob us of our very homes, leaving naught but dust and ash. But you're trying to change that. We're trying to change that. And to me, that's no burden.
I know, but...
Try not to forget. We're only here because Joshua gave us a second chance. It would be a pity to waste such a precious gift.
He did. He was there. It wasn't an illusion. I heard him call out to Ultima. If Joshua is still alive, he'll be looking for that thing.
Do you think he will ever come back?
I know he will. And we must be ready when he does. To a world without mother crystals. To Sid.
And so the North is lost.
I knew that the Blight spread ever more swiftly, Your Grace. But this is far, far worse than any could have imagined.
It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever closer to its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, are our efforts in vain?
Master Clive, a moment, if you... my apologies, I didn't mean to... intrude.
Not at all. We were just discussing strategy.
Speak freely, Otto.
It's Martha, from the inn. She's gone missing. Anyway, I'll be in the mess when you've finished.
Very well. What would make Martha leave the rest?
Something has happened to Martha. We need to speak with Otto.
What do we know, Otto?
Some lads from the Imperial garrison in Rosette. Blood was spilled. But somewhere in the middle of it all, Martha vanished without a word to it.
You think this was...
Of course it bloody was. Ever since Eastpool, the Empire's been tightening its grip around the Duchy's book. They've strung up everyone who's ever set eyes on a runaway, claiming they're traitors to the Holy... And now it sounds like the bastards have turned their attentions to the pallbearers meek enough to stay put. Naturally, old Martha could see the way the wind was blowing. Complained that it was getting harder and harder to take bearers.
And now she's missing. She's fallen into the hands of the Empire. We could be next.
A couple of curse breakers are already on their way to the... They should help speed up the search. But if this is as bad as I think it is...
Don't worry, Otto. I'll make sure everyone gets home safe.
If you need volunteers, just say the word. And our band when it comes to the old... Cuffs.
Martha is a survivor. We'll find her.
Finish with that log, bastard.
Damn blighted bilge.
Is everything all right?
Aside from the holes in my hull, everything's rose.
The lake water doesn't agree with it, then?
That's one way of putting it. And unless that slurry will keep eating away at the timber like young, assuming we had any, doubt the old tub's got...
Of course, Obola. Your skiff is our only means of reaching the mainland. Without it, we'd be lost.
Well, I'm glad someone... To make pitch, you need pitch now. I'm not... And it just so happens...
Sounds easy. Easier than felling a forest, I said. Trees don't have teeth. Can't imagine Obolus needing any more than this. Time to head home.
Well,
Find his...
Ugh. Reeks like a
Argo.
Yeah. Same as me old man.
What happened here?
Come on. We need to find the others.
I'm sorry, Sid. We were too late.
Can't stop staying. Half an hour, I reckon.
There, Martha.
The boys from
Let's get you to physical.
Sid? What said you'd be coming?
I trust you don't mind. Also thought you might need some help, and it appears he was right.
You were. They're saying the Imperials ascended like a storm. Martha tried to step in and calm things down, but all our efforts got her where...
Any idea?
Judging by their tracks, they headed towards Sorrowwise.
To the Abbey, sheltering Martha's bear.
A bust. Jill and I will go after them.
We will. But, before you got... One of the locals heard something. He said the soldier... I don't know how big this is, but it doesn't sound good.
You do this.
Cole is right. That was no tavern brawl. It was a message.
But a culling. Bearers are the property of the Empire. The garrison wouldn't have the authority to act alone. The orders would have had to have come from higher up.
If those horses touch an arrow.
Look. Up ahead. Martha, are you hurt?
Don't worry about me. It's them at the Abbey who need you. You have to do something.
Tell us what happened.
What happened? The damn Black Shields, that's what happened.
The Black Shields?
The bastards caught wind. The Abbot and I were helping bearers. They were gonna hang us both. When the poor souls turned on the Imperials.
Then, Martha, do you think you can make it back to the inn?
I think so.
Black Shields? Is this some sort of twisted joke? There has only ever been one Order of Shields in Rosaria, and they fought to defend all her citizens.
Seems a step too far, even for the Empire. Are we too late?
There might still be someone inside.
No.
Damn it.
I thought you lot were all spent.
Murderers. They drove the bearers to this.
Wait. These two aren't turned.
Ah,
That bitch of an innkeeper must have sent them. Colluding with the enemies of the Empire is a serious offence.
And for their crimes shall they be punished. Such is the law. To dwell in darkness that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these our swords we swear.
How dare you speak those words? Have you no honor?
Clive.
This won't take long. Is that all of them?
I think so. I didn't see the abbot. He may still be alive. The abbot.
The bearers died protecting him. Calling upon what little magic they had left in their bodies.
Clive. He's breathing.
We're friends of Martha. We're here to help.
Are the Imperials dead?
They are. Every last one.
Tell Martha.
Sid! Where are you? Sid!
In here! We found a survivor!
Clive. He's gone.
We've laid the abbot to rest, but the bearers... They didn't...
No, they didn't. But it was their choice. They knew the fate that awaited them and chose to meet it on their terms.
Martha said they rose from their beds, threw themselves.
I've gathered the bearers' remains.
There's a drawbridge not far from here. If the abbot was still with us, he'd have taken the dust there himself and performed the cut.
I'll do it.
Of course. Cole and I will remain here and see to the...
didn't see that coming. That must be the bridge. So shall the waters cleanse thee of thy burden, and bear it out to sea.
And now they are truly free.
I hope so. What of the Imperials?
A pyre was made. It's more than they deserve. Cole is worried about them.
All right.
No one's...
I'm sorry.
Doesn't mean I won't. Cole said you cast their remains, but it should have been me.
How?
But I did. And I turned the rumors started moons ago. Of black-clad devils descending on villages, and that I assumed it was all just nonsense concocted by the Empire. Nothing but a ghost story meant to make folk think twice about lending a hand to it.
And in ordinary times you would have been right. Which begs the question, my mother obviously has a hand in this.
And picking what goes on in that woman's head is a job for someone with more time on their hands. If those Imperials think they can come in here again and Oh, before I forget, Astola, he asked me to tell you that Gav...
Then we must as well.
We can't stay long.
No need. I'll be ready should the Imperials come calling.
Best off staying where we are for now, I reckon.
Try not to move.
Oi! You handy, course you are. But now, question is, are you willing to...
Chocobo.
You heard me right, and not just any Whiteheart and her flock are the bravest...
Chocobos.
It's true. Well, go on then. There's a...
Where can I find...
I saw him cut across the way. You save Whiteheart and her flock, you hear? And don't worry.
I'm sure
And good luck to you.
Whiteheart. That's quite a name for a chocobo. A white feather. I thought Ambrosia was one of a kind. Speaking of brave bird, looks like they went that way. These chocobos aren't going down without a fight. We're in trouble.
We got you cornered, Feathers. You didn't think you'd seen the last. You've been bad for business.
Not around here.
Oh.
Because she's something of a hero in these parts. You hurt her, and I hurt you.
This,
All right, then. You're safe now. White Hart, I presume. Do you know her, boy? That scar. It couldn't be. Ambrosia. It is you. You survived. And you found yourself a flock.
Oi! Here is it all? I thought I'd come and see how you were getting on. Oh, are you? And the whole flock made it through unscathed.
Thankfully, they did. And not only that.
Well, I'll be. I never stopped. Though I dare say she'd suit a fine fellow like yourself. Reckon our feathered friend must have learned a thing or two from her master. Bird like her would have cost a princely sum. You born a lord or something?
Well,
Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to pry.
What is it, girl?
She wants her master back, I reckon. Told you. And it seems our pals agree.
Is that it? You want to come with me?
Oh, stay right. Doesn't she cut an handsome figure, eh?
She does indeed. How much do I owe you?
Ah, a few scraps of leather's the very least I owe old Whiteheart. Oh, I'll be sad to see her go, of course. But she's earned her. Don't you worry. We'll get along just fine without her. You hear that, Whiteheart? You've earned yourself some time off. You have fun traveling with your master now. You seem off. That's it. When those chocobos swarmed my cart on the road, didn't you? No.
Must have been my double.
Oh, must have been, eh? Oh, that'll be the excitement getting to me. Silly sod that I am. Pay me no mind. Anyhow, best be on my way.
You take care of your flock for now. I'll call you when I need you. Come on. Run like the wind. Where's Gav?
Gav should be back by now.
Ah, Clive! How I've missed that scowl.
Where's my report?
What, no kind words for your old pal Gav?
If it's kind words you're after, you're fishing in the wrong barrel. Now sit down, you fool.
So, you remember how quick the Empire was to occupy the Dominion after the fall of Drake's head? And how pissed off all the other nations were that they didn't think to do it first?
Half a century of independence gone at the whim of a madman. So much for their bloody treaty.
Clearly, the promise of unblighted land and the world's supply of crystals was too much for his radiance to resist. And now the Republic's finally decided to follow suit, using liberation as an excuse to declare war on Sambrek. Lined up right outside the Dominion's gates as we speak, looking to starve the Imperials into submission.
And now all eyes are on the Strait of Author.
While the two nations beat their shields, the rest sharpen their daggers, ready to set upon the war-weary victor. They'll never see us coming. It's time we moved on the Mother Crystals. Four Mother Crystals remain in Storm and Ash. Drake's Breath near Ironhome. Drake's Fang in Dhalmekia. Drake's Spine in Waloed. And Drake's Tail here in the Crystalline Dominion.
With the bulk of the Republican army marching to Twinside, Drake's Fang will be left exposed.
That is exactly the move Kupka would anticipate. And if there is anything these past 5 years have taught us, is that he loves his traps. There is one place, however, where nobody will be expecting us to go.
Drake's Breath.
There's a shitload of sea between us and it, and I've never been much of a swimmer.
I have an acquaintance in Port Isolde who may be able to help.
Who's that then?
My uncle, Byron Rosfield.
Lord Byron Rosfield of the Seven High Houses, the trade magnate with holdings in over 100 cities. Wait, Rosfield. And you're a Rosfield, of course.
My uncle's name gave him his start in the world, but it was his acumen which earned him his fortune, along with a handsome fleet of ships.
Well, it's settled then. What are we waiting for, eh? Huh?
What are we waiting for, indeed?
Think it's all right to touch him?
Sid, I am...
Is everything all right?
Oh, yeah, it's just... well...
It's good to know that something of the old hideaway still lives on.
Martel's pride and joy. It was a sapling when she rescued it from the rubble, but I took it on, you see, after she... well, after... and not only is it ready, it's actually tasty. Sweet as you like, in fact.
Impressive. And welcome news to...
I thought this first harvest could go to the curse breakers. On account of all that, you couldn't take them some, could you? Seems...
It'd be nice being the bearer of good news.
Oh, she always had a soft spot for that lot, see? Here you go. Martel apples, they're called. You hear that, Martel? Martel would have wanted the curse breakers to be the first to try her apples. I'm sorry to put you to the trouble, Sid, but thanks.
If you're worried about our supplies, we've plenty. Karen seems as ragged as...
You two look like you could use something to eat.
Martel.
Weren't she the girl from the furrows?
Course she was.
Aye, and brave as a bane might.
Please don't. She'd have been proud.
Others weren't so lucky, though.
A gift from the backyard.
Blimey, these take me back. I haven't seen a... Old Sid was the only one who could stomach the thing. He'd nab them right from the branch, made Martel livid. Not that anyone...
That sounds like the Sid I knew.
Planning on keeping that lot to yourselves, were you? Hang on. I'm glad to see someone carried on what she started. Can't have been easy, not in the day. Reckon she'd be happy knowing all her hard work didn't go to waste. Clive, tell the lad down in the backyard to run some over for me, will you?
Well, I've got... You can leave the basket with me. I'll see that the others get their...
That was the last of the apples. I should head to the backyard and pass along everyone's regards. The curse breakers sent their... They were clearly very fond.
They remembered her. I suppose she was very kind. Even to... She put everything into her work. She wasn't going to rest until we had fruit sweet enough to enjoy. When she died, I named a sapling after her. And now it's a full-grown...
And through you. Her dream...
I didn't do anything.
By the way, Otto's expecting some of your crop.
Of course not. I'll see that you're both well provided for. They like your fruit, Martel. Isn't that one?
There's trouble. Who's there? That room's as ragged as...
So Martha's all right.
Yep. Others weren't so.
What's the matter, Nectar? The hunt board. It's where the curse breakers post sightings of particularly fearsome beasts. Those that might pose a threat to our... Just because they can't be dealt with when they're spotted, doesn't mean they can't be dealt with later. Right. Well, the people of Valisthea are going through a lot already. But with the Blight, and the last thing they need is ungodly fiends terrorizing them on top of everything else. Then perhaps I can. I don't think so.
Do you think it was wise to leave, Gav? He didn't seem pleased.
I needed his eyes and nose in Dhalmekia. I'm not about to let Kupka take us unawares. Besides, he has a knack for that sort of thing.
That he does.
And wasn't it Sid who said that matters such as these are best left to dominance? Especially should one of his beloved opportunities to grow and change present itself.
I always knew that I would return one day. Return to Ironhome.
For what?
After learning the truth, you were given the chance to face your past. If I am to continue at your side, I must do the same.
We will face it together then.
To the end.
Come on.
How far do you think your mother's reach extends? Will we find the same tragedy in the south as we did at Martha's Rest?
More than likely. Which is why we should hurry. There are still many settlements between here and Port Isolde. We visit as many as we can and hear their stories. Starting with the village of Amber.
Yeah!
Where's he?
Mockery of justice is what it is. Lord Elwyn would never have stood for this.
Quiet, you! Nothing, we're loyalists.
Jill, look.
Rosaria must be cleansed of the stain which befouls her. 'Twould be a pity to make examples of you all.
Of course, your lordship.
What business could the Black Shields have in a village this small?
Then they must be here for something.
You fancy dancing a gallows jig like the miller's son?
You're a long way from home, aren't you? I suppose we won't be seeing you again.
Excuse me, but what was all that about earlier?
You haven't heard? Someone's been stirring up trouble. There've been attacks on the garrison, supplies stolen. They even say a Black Shield was murdered. The Empire wants answers, and what the Empire wants, Empire gets.
Don't they just?
Keep your ears open, eh? The Black Shields will pay good coin for information on the You'd have to be dull as a sack of stones to think you could take on the Empire. What with their 100 full legions? 100? I heard it were Listen.
You seen them?
I'm sorry.
The Black Shields. At least I think they was the Black Shields. Can't say I ever saw one before.
Was this the first time they visited the village?
What do you think? Amber's the arse end of nowhere. And they thought we might be harbouring Firebrand. If only we were. I might have turned them in and become a black...
You don't think these firebrands the Empire is looking for could be us, do you?
I don't know. But we need to find out. Greetings, friend.
I know that.
We couldn't help noticing those Imperial...
Don't you go telling these straight... I speak for the people of this village. You are to leave Amber...
May I at least...
I don't know who you are or what brings you here, but the Empire is a harsh master. Its demands are great, and some might call it submission. But if it was this village, well...
Then we shall be on our way. These people live with a knife to their throat. In the mistaken belief that if they cooperate, my mother...
Obedience bought with fear.
Are you all right?
We still don't know who the Black Shield...
Well, whoever they are, but other than Martha, who else in Rosaria would have the courage to... A new ally would certainly be welcome. Perhaps the next village will yield more... Let's go. This pass will take us through the mountains.
And directly into the path of whoever or whatever lurks here.
Ever since the apodatory, we've seen more and more of these echoes.
What do you think is waking them? The mother crystal's collapse?
Yeah. You're not going to like this. Come on. Faster! More of my mother's men. Fly, Ambrosia. Safe. Enough of you, are there? Straight home now.
Blood, Clive.
And still wet.
You were told to stay in your homes.
The Black Shields.
You know who we are. And still, you would bear your steel. Why then, we owe you our thanks. You have saved us the trouble of an interrogation. To dwell in darkness, that we may purge the night and welcome lasting dawn. On these, our swords we swear.
Say that again. I'll show you a true shield of Rosaria. Nice try.
Tell me what I want and the end will be swift. Who are you looking for?
Why, you. We come bearing a message. Your friends have been found. The branded you freed from our camp. They await you.
Those are Old Hill's gates.
Then we hurry.
Fly, Ambrosia. Be safe.
Find something, boy. Death.
Found her.
This was my mother's doing.
But why? Why would anyone?
I don't know. I never truly understood her. But this...
Clive.
I will learn what madness drives her, and I will end it. We should go.
Yes.
We can't leave them here like this.
We won't. But if the Black Shields have made it this far south, they may already be in Port Isolde.
We're approaching Buick Bridge. Though I doubt the Empire would let us cross over to Rosalith. Come on. I can walk from here.
Didn't happen to come by way of Oldhill, did you? Saw some Imperials clad in black making for the docks just the other day. The next morning.
They're all Rosarian.
But this is their home.
The Empire would have us live in the Deadlands. You'll find no succor to the South Travellers, nor beyond the Buet. The Empire...
Run like the wind.
The Lazarus. What happened to this place?
My mother happened. The nobles who lived here didn't stand a chance. I took my uncle for better. Ambrosia. That's the main gate. And it looks like we're not the only ones hoping to get in.
Let us pass! Our children are starving! Have mercy! Voice-rinsed dogs they are! You can't ignore us forever!
Lassen, who would die on your doorstep?
Better out there than in here.
Fuck off!
Chinless bastards. Those crystals belong to us all.
I said, where were you, filth?
Back to your stall.
Cut you down where you stand!
Just try it.
No chance of slipping through unnoticed. We'll need to find another way in. I thought we might be able to reason with the guards. Or at least bribe them.
I suspect everyone. Was that the only way?
Officially, yes. My uncle once told me that the nobles had tunnels built, so that they could... The Lazarus. We'll find our way into...
If you're sure. Do you think it's safe?
As long as it...
The good news is we haven't seen a single black shield since Old Hill.
Maybe they found who they were looking for. This is nothing like I remember it.
How quickly a crown can lose its luster.
Not abandoned then.
Oi! Visitors!
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died. Huh? Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
We can speak inside.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We left before the Empire could make examples of us, though we didn't go far. And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye. The foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord, but in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
Her son.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge. Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else. If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves Shield have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
Then let's hope Sir Wade has a good quartermaster.
Oh, Buck, I suppose we owe you our thanks. You spared us when you could have just as easily sent us to the mud.
You're telling me that's the Archduke's son?
In the flesh. Saw him once when I was your age.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage. Will that be all? It has been an honor.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill and I make for Buett Bridge. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surround. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company.
But until we arrive, that was your plan.
So Wade, the bearers from old...
Very good.
As you command.
Thank you, Sir Wade.
There is but one thing which will grant putting an end to the Black...
And so we...
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
How long have you been pursuing the Black Shields?
Since they burned their first village, we tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Yeah!
Look at me sideways.
Come along now.
The bastards are looking.
There they are. On your command, my lord.
What is it now? I told you!
We bear a message for the Vicereine.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy could guard aught against the might? Die!
Forest area!
Forest area!
Your petty revolution ends here. On these our swords we swear.
Bloody hell! Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
A noble stand, albeit a misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point, that this land is in dire need of cleansing. Well done, sir.
I don't see any more.
Nor do I.
It did. It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the...
Perhaps this will be enough to stop the culling.
Perhaps. Though she'll move swiftly to see her minions.
And then it will all... I often wonder if the nation we once knew is a field's rot. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but yet be that as it may, it is still up. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our... and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarians stand...
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends a sound strategy.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to, and had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city
I suppose a formal request for an audience.
And appearances must. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, where he would be of no use to, and so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the Lord. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither Wraith nor...
I might have something which could help with... It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosario. Be sure that you do. I don't want... If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you. Or the Lord Commander.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you...
I know.
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance. Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rosfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue! You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod. Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint of the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford. So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
A monster?
For better or worse, I've been charged with governing this town, and thus must maintain the illusion of obedience. That's all I can do to aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive. The nation your father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother. All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
On your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
Let's say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Why then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Once outfitted, she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Something on your mind?
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could. And so I became their puppet. I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword, but another's. I removed myself from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
Commander knows what awaits us in the Iron Kingdom. But Vivian could probably make an educated guess.